Alright guys, what's up? I'm going to show you how I'm using AI to track nutrition. Completely replaces needing to use MyFitnessPal. In my opinion, it replaces needing to weigh and measure even. And it's more reliable, it's more robust, it's more flexible, it's just better all around. And here we go. So this is Claude. I'll show you a little bit in ChatGPT as well, but I've done it in Claude. I think Claude is a little bit better for this, but it's fine. ChatGPT would be fine. Same idea. Gemini, Grok, all of them, they all have a similar capability where you can create a project. And here we go. So you can see I already have one called Macro Tracker. I'll show it to you real quick, what I have here. So you can see I've named it Macro Tracker. This is just the description of what it is, checking my daily food in this project. I have some instructions over here, which I'll show you more about in a second. And this is my... just one I started today, for an example. It's a little smaller. So literally you can see I can just type in banana and it spits out the breakdown, what's next. I typed in my yogurt I had, gives me that, gives me my running total so far for the day, which is right here. I typed in I had a breakfast burrito, and it actually knows the context because I've had it before. So I said I've had this on other days, you should be able to find the recipe and macros, and it did. Even with all the typos, it understands. Gives me my running total, and then this is really cool. You can upload. I just did this as an example. I didn't have this to eat today. Upload a picture, and because it has sight, it can see it, and it can estimate based on the picture and the context of the size of things about what the macro breakdown is. And you might be thinking like, well, isn't that not as accurate as weighing and measuring? I would argue, well, first of all, yes. If you are weighing and measuring everything to a T perfectly, that's the most accurate. But most people don't do that. They misalign things, they eat a little more than they realize, and they actually weighed and measured. They're weighing and measuring some things, but then some things they're not, and they're just kind of estimating. I would argue that a super intelligent AI computer using its sight capabilities and estimating consistently over time is going to be more accurate than our way of doing it, which just human error is involved. And there's been studies on that too, that even with weighing and measuring, there's like a 20 to 25% margin of error. So not as reliable as you think. And also this is just so much lower stress and easier. The trade-off is more than worth it in my opinion. So I'll show you how I built this. It's really not complicated. Built is really being too generous. So it's a project, new project. I'll name this one Nutrition Tracker. What am I trying to achieve? Track my nutrition intake and goals daily. Okay, it's just a description. You don't have to get too crazy with that. Instructions right here. This is really where we want to. I don't know why that says not found. I think it's because I've done it before. But instructions. Okay, so this is what's so cool about AI, and especially Claude is so good at this. You can just talk conversationally to it and tell it what you want. So I use a tool called Whisper Flow. So it's just a talk to text thing. Let me turn that on. All right, so Claude, I want to be able to upload photos of food, type in descriptions of what I'm eating, and you just spit back to me the macronutrient breakdown and give me a daily running total of where I am compared to my goals each day. My protein goal is 180 grams of protein, and I don't know my calorie goal, but I want you to track my calories just so I know where I am. Maybe we can figure that out together. That's it. There we go. That's really all I need. I could add a few more things in there. If I look like I'm off track for the day, go ahead and give me a heads up if I'm falling behind or what I need to plan for at meals coming up. You can kind of act like a little bit of a nutrition coach as well, but my primary goal with this is just to be able to simply track my macro nutrient intake each day and calories. Okay, I'm going to save those instructions. As you could hear, I literally just talked to text to it. Not complicated. Okay, here we go. Why didn't it save? Oh, it did. Okay, save. It didn't show it there. There we go. Okay, so let's try it. let's try it. So I'm going to just type in this isn't true, but I'm just doing it. I'm just going to show you how I don't sand. Why can't I spell that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going to be like, wait, can you tell me more about what you had on it? Which, remember, I could just take a picture of it, which I'll show you in a second how that works. It tells you what it's doing. And I'm doing this on my desktop. You can do this from your mobile app as well. Quick estimate based on standard lunch meat. Estimating 2 slices, 3 ounces deli turkey, mayo, no cheese. Okay. If you want add cheese, oh, so I can go back and say, oh, it's asking me some questions here because this is the first time I'm using it, so it's going to get some more context, which is cool. It knows it needs to learn more context. What's the main goal? Driving calorie tracking. Just want visibility, no specific goal. So cool. Or you could just type in your own thing. So there'll be some of this when you first start using it. There'll be some tweaking. You can go in and tweak the instructions anytime. Okay, it's gonna help. It's because I said maybe you can help me calculate my calorie goal. That's why it's doing this. I'm actually just gonna tell it. Actually, I'm not worried about determining that right now. I just want you to track my food, and we can look at it retroactively. Let's set an arbitrary goal of 3,000 calories a day right now, but we can easily change that. Okay, so cool. Let's ask more instructions. Let me say artifacts. Actually, this is cool. So Claude does artifacts, which is like it can save like a dashboard where it'll save my daily log persistently, and instead of starting a new chat every day. But chat based is fine. Chat based is fine. Let's just keep it simple. Okay, so remind me again of where I am so far for today. And also, that turkey sandwich did have cheese on it and a little bit of mayonnaise. So this is cool. You just talk to it conversationally, and it's going to re-spit out my daily total here. There we go. Okay. Today's running total. Boom. Let's pretend I'm going to grab a picture just from my photo album here. And let's pretend I had this, eggs and this entire basket of strawberries. Let's see what it does here. Come on, here we go. This is going to be funny. It might go ahead and estimate it, or it might be like, hey, did you actually eat all those strawberries? Here we go. Eggs, cheese on toast. Is there toast there? Wow, that's impressive because I didn't even. Oh yeah, there is. See, it's good. It's good. Assumptions: 3 fried eggs. Yep, that's right. 2 tablespoons of shredded mozzarella blend. Yep, 1 slice toast. Yep. Okay, 1 cup of strawberries. That's what I estimated that. 8 berries. So obviously, if I knew what I ate, I could tell it. Actually, I had more like 2 cups or whatever. But it's giving me my running total. I'm at 920 calories and 58 grams of protein. On pace. Cool. And it's telling me, hey, if there's any adjustments, let me know. So you guys get the idea, okay? I could even just simple apple, okay? You don't have to worry about small amount apple, medium apple, large apple. You could give it more detail, but I'm telling you, over time, if this is your tool you use every day, first of all, it's going to learn more and more about you and what you typically do. And number 2, it's going to, over time, be more accurate than you trying to remember everything and put it in another app and make sure you entered the right thing in MyFitnessPal and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. So that's the basics of how I do it. In chat, I'll show you real quick. Here's chat. Here, same idea. You create a project, and let's see here. Where's the settings for the project? Let me go back to my projects. Nutrition tracking. Here we go. Yeah, right here. And then edit instructions. Same deal. You can give it instructions just like I did in Claude. And In this one, I told it I had a produce goal too, so that's why it's giving me this green check mark. And I told it my produce goal is to eat protein and produce at every meal, so make sure I get produce at every meal. So it's just making sure that I got some produce at every meal, which is cool. So you can get really flexible with this, with what your goals are, how you want to do it. It can be more habit-based. It can be, like I said, macronutrient-based, more specific. And you just conversationally or photographically show it what you're eating. Boom. I hope this is helpful for you guys. So much better than MyFitnessPal or any other app. Stop paying for any of those. Start using AI. And ChatGPT or Claude are the two that I would recommend because they're what I've used. But any app would probably work. Okay, bye.